Okay, good morning, students. So today we are going to talk about green chemistry, and we will be completing this chapter today, so that tomorrow we can start a new topic. So let all other students join in. We will wait for a few minutes before starting. Okay. So just scroll through the slides. If you have any doubt regarding any of the slides, then just let me know once the lecture starts. Okay. So let's wait for a few minutes before everybody else joins in, because attendance is 28 only. Okay. So can you see this particular numerical written on the board? Okay. This is it. First of all, write it down, and then you all will solve this today. After that, we will continue. So I can ask any one of you to answer the numericals. So 29, 30 of you are there. So just solve this, note this particular numerical down, and then we will solve it together. Okay. So as you can see on the board, this is your benzene, plus your oxygen. Then they both react to give you malic anhydride and carbon dioxide and water. Okay, so I have written the equation in front of you. Now you are going to solve the, find out the atomic number for this one particular reaction. Okay, so I'll take the names, and that person will tell me the atomic mass for that particular question. Okay, क्योंकि assignment देने से पहले let's just solve it and understand. So Akanksha, I hope you can hear me. What is the molar mass for benzene? For benzene, Akanksha, are you there? Akanksha will tell me the molar mass for benzene. Then Chaitanya will tell me the molar mass for oxygen and here, the molar mass for oxygen. And one more student, let's just take any one of you. Prachi will tell me the molar mass for malic anhydride. क्योंकि इस पूरी रिएक्शन में जो डिजायर्ड प्रोडक्ट है वो आपका मैलिक एनहाइड्राइड है, ठीक है, बिकॉज यू हैव फोकस्ड ऑन सिंथेसिस ऑफ मैलिक एनहाइड्राइड, so this is the desired product. We are not considering the molar masses of carbon dioxide and hydrogen, okay, and water, sorry, carbon dioxide and water. So इसको consider नहीं कर रहे हैं अपने reaction में atom economic calculation में. We are only going to consider the desired product. So just tell me कि बेंजीन का कितना कैलकुलेट किया आपने? कोई भी स्टूडेंट बताओ बेंजीन का कितना कैलकुलेट किया है?
78.
78, fine. And for this oxygen? For oxygen it's 144. Fine, 144, 143. If you take it to decimal places, then we have to take. But let's just say it's 144. Okay. For malic anhydride, this particular desired product, it's 96. Okay. So atom economy अगर इसकी निकालनी है, so what will we do? जो desired product है, इसका molar mass यहाँ पे लिखेंगे upon the molar mass of both the reactants. So for both the reactants is 78 plus 144 into 100. So what is the value that you are getting? कोई भी स्टूडेंट बताओ कितनी एटम इकोनॉमी आ रही है इस पर्टिकुलर इक्वेशन की? हेलो, see, you have to participate, then only it's going to be interesting. So कोई भी कैलकुलेट करके बताओ कि इसकी एटम इकोनॉमी कितनी आ रही है?
$43.24 आती है शायद.
43, approximately 43. So do you think it's a good reaction? Is it a good green reaction, or should we focus on changing the method just by looking at its atom economy? Because 100% atom economy is the best atom economy, okay, for any particular green reaction. 100% atom economy means that all the reactants have changed into, or you can say all the reactant atoms have changed into desirable product. But यहाँ पे इस particular equation में the value that we are getting is 43%, okay, approximately 43. So what does this signify on the scale of 100? This signifies that it does not have a good atom economy. Okay, one should focus on changing the method of synthesis of malic anhydride. This is the significance of atom economy. So one can look at the values. As we know that 100% is the best scale, so 43% is quite less. So one should focus on changing the method to a better method which has got greater atom economy. That is the importance of atom economy in chemistry synthesis. Okay, so this is your green. Only then it can be called a green, reaction. So I hope you have understood it. So today in section B and C, assignments have been provided. So I think after today's class, I'll also give you assignment, but it will include a few numericals on atom economy. So I hope now you have got the concept. We are going to first of all calculate the molar mass of the reactants. Then we are going to check which one of the following is your desirable product. So once you have figured out the desirable product, just calculate its molar mass, place it in the numerator and for the ones in denominator and calculate its atomic number. Now, I will also ask you a question whether a particular method between A and B is good in atom economy. So you just look, calculate the atom economy and find out whether it's good or not. Okay. तो अभी के लिए आई थिंक ये कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर है. अगर इसी का कोई और मेथड होता जिसमें इसकी एटम इकोनॉमी 70 प्लस आती तो डेफिनेटली दैट मेथड वुड हैव बीन बेटर provided that the 12 principles are also getting followed. सिर्फ एटम इकोनॉमी स्टूडेंट्स आई वुड लाइक टू रिपीट, सिर्फ एटम इकोनॉमी हाई होने से ही फोकस नहीं है. जो 12 principles हैं they have to be kept in mind, but the final decision is like on this one particular magnitude. Okay. So I hope you have got the atom economic concept importance. And you can easily answer. I hope you can easily answer the reasoning questions also related to that. Okay, so today we are going to move to the next slide, the next method that we were talking about. So इस टाइप के ये न्यूमेरिकल्स होंगे प्लस एडिशनल न्यूमेरिकल्स will be given to you in assignment. So tools for green chemistry. So when we started talked about green starting material, then we talked about your synthesis of adipic acid. So synthesis of adipic acid के conventional method में benzene was used, but one scientist changed it into a more environmental friendly product, which is your D-glucose. Okay, so this is one example for that particular process. Here. Then we talked about green reagents. So when we talked about green reagent, dimethyl carbonate was given an example. You can add any example of your choice if you are asked. But the key point, the take-home point is that it should be non-toxic. It should give maximum atom economy, and the byproducts formed should also be non-toxic, just like in this particular equation. So one of the byproducts, water, is definitely environment friendly and non-toxic, but the other one has got a lot of greenhouse effect. Okay, we all know carbon dioxide has a problem. So this issue, if like any of one of you is an environmentalist or a chemist, then you have to take in consideration this point कि इसको कैसे एलिमिनेट करें, कौन सा रिएक्शन ऐसा यूज करें या चूज करें जिसमें कि इस टाइप के प्रोडक्ट्स ना रिलीज हों. सो दिस इज व्हाट इज मेंट बाय ग्रीन रिएजेंट्स. ठीक है, बाय प्रोडक्ट्स फॉर्म शुड बी नॉन टॉक्सिक एंड एनवायरमेंटली फ्रेंडली. द थर्ड वन इज इजीली अवेलेबल. कोई भी मेथड कितना भी अच्छा ग्रीन केमिस्ट्री से रिलेटेड हो या फिर उसकी एटम इकोनॉमी बहुत हाई हो, बट इंडस्ट्रियल लेवल पे उसका प्रोडक्शन इज ओनली जो कहते हैं ना जैसे प्रैक्टिकल सोल्यूशन फॉर अ पर्टिकुलर प्रॉब्लम. So if the reaction, if the products are easily available, if the reaction is cost effective, only then it can be used for a larger scale production. If the cost is high, no matter how green it is, people will not try to adopt that method. So one should focus on easily available reagents or reactants. So these are the points which green reagents talk about. So example for synthesis of methyl cyanobenzene is given. So just a second, hold on, students. Hello, students. Just wait for a second. I have to, attend another teacher. Hanji sir. Okay. Sorry for the interruption. So this is what was all about your green reagent, and an example for methyl synthesis of methyl cyanobenzene is given, but you can write any other example of your choice. Okay, then green synthesis का example दिया है आपका styrene का. So earlier benzene was used, but now it has been replaced with xylene and toluene. So this is also an example of green synthesis. Another major example that was given to you was synthesis of ibuprofen. So there was a comparative study between your atom economy being 40% and 77.4%. So I hope now you can understand the importance of atom economy in a particular industrial manufacturing of a compound. Okay, ibuprofen is a drug. It's largely used in drugs. So I hope you can understand the concept now. Then we have green reactions again. Another example was given to you, which was your methyl methacrylate. So methyl methacrylate, when acetone was used, then we needed hydrogen cyanide, which is highly toxic in nature, and it gave an atom economy of 47%. So the Shell company, they changed it to 100% by using propyne. Now comes your green methodologies. कि क्या क्या तरीके हो सकते हैं. ये तो आपके reagents हो गए, synthesis methods हो गए, but how one can focus on using green methodology. So it basically green methodology focuses on finding alternatives to the existing methodologies which use toxic starting material, reagents, catalyst, and release of byproducts. We have already understood this. So one should use catalyst की अगर बात करें, so one should use biocatalysts जैसे कि oxidoreductases, transferases, hydrolases. So these are your enzymes. Okay. So enzymes, instead of using, basically this reaction, I'll take you back to the previous slide here. Okay. So we have used D glucose and E. coli bacteria. Now this E. coli bacteria has got a lot of catalysts inside it. Okay, catalysts in the form of enzymes. So only those those enzymes are helping you synthesize adipic acid. So one should focus on using the power or using the capability of enzymes in chemical synthesis. So we have given few examples like oxidoreductases, enzymes catalyze oxidation reduction reactions. Transferases ही एक category of enzymes है which can transfer the functional groups. तो जहाँ पे भी जैसे कि यहाँ पे इस particular reaction में, if you want to change the functional groups, and then one should focus on using a biocatalyst which has got the ability to change this cyano group into the group of your choice. Okay, so इस type के enzymes हैं available हैं, they can be used for synthesis. Hydrolases is a category of enzymes which catalyze hydrolytic reactions. So basically the idea is to use catalyst or enzymes for carrying out reactions. अब जो नॉर्मल कैटलिस्ट है जैसे कि आपका पैलेडियम है, प्लैटिनम है, ठीक है, निकल है, so all these chemical based catalysts, they require some specific environmental some specific reaction condition. I hope you have understood the concept of atom economy. Difference between using catalyst and biocatalyst. जो catalyst है chemical based requires specific temperature and pressure conditions for reaction. Okay, we all notice that if you use a chemical catalyst, then we require a special condition, a special temperature and pressure. Although we know that catalysts work at a lower temperature, high temperatures are not required, but still we require a little bit amount of heat or pressure can be required अगर आप chemical catalyst use करते हैं. but जब आप bio catalyst use करते हैं, bio catalyst means enzyme. So in that case, aqueous medium with reactions largely possible है because bio catalysts are found in your living cells. Okay, whether it can be plant, animal, bacterial, it can be of any kind, but they are largely from your living cells. So they can these enzymes or these biocatalysts can work in a aqueous environment, ambient temperature. Because जितने भी living organisms हैं उनका एक low temperature है 25 to 35 like we have for human beings. तो कोई भी enzymes है वो एक ambient temperature में work कर सकते हैं. ठीक है. The next thing is highly specific. And single step reaction as given in the slide. Single step reaction. ठीक है. तो ये डिफरेंस है दोनों का बायोकैटलिस्ट यूज करने का या फिर एक केमिकल कैटलिस्ट यूज करने का. सो इन केस ऑफ केमिकल कैटलिस्ट वी माइट रिक्वायर some high temperature or some heat, but in case of biocatalyst enzymes they work in your body temperature पे. ठीक है. Ambient temperature पे they work. They can work in aqueous medium. It's not necessary that you have to provide an acidic medium or something. They largely work in aqueous medium because we are talking about something derived from living organisms. Okay, and they give high atomic economy as given in the slide, and conversion and stereospecificity. So if you want to synthesize a dextrorotatory or a levorotatory, dextrorotatory and levorotatory we have already I told you in the previous class, but dextrorotatory is the one that changes the plane polarized light into right direction, whereas levorotatory में it changes the plane polarized light to your left direction, जैसे कि D-glucose. ठीक है. यहाँ पे एक एग्जाम्पल ऑलरेडी गिवन है फॉर दैट पर्टिकुलर थिंग. ओके. सो दिस इज अबाउट योर यूज ऑफ बायोकैटलिस्ट. Green methodologies. So basically use of aqueous medium as solvents, cheaply available, non-carcinogenic, non-inflammable, and high value of specific heat. Okay, the specific heat is the amount of heat per unit mass required to raise the temperature by 1 degree Celsius. Okay, so why do we need aqueous solvents or why should we focus on aqueous solvents? The other method for green synthesis is use of aqueous solvents. तो पहला मेथड है आपका first method is biocatalyst. Second is use of aqueous solvents. So why do we use aqueous solvents? The reason is given on the slide. They are cheaply available, non-carcinogenic in nature because they are aqueous. Therefore, they are non-inflammable. अगर यहीं पे इस aqueous solvent की जगह जो water से soluble solvent की जगह अगर हम यहाँ पे alcohol based solvent ले लेते हैं इसी रिएक्शन में, let's just say we are not using aqueous based solvent, we are using alcohol based solvent. In this particular reaction, in alcohol based solvent reactions, we have to be very careful about fire explosions or any sort of inflammable fire related accidents. Okay, so large scale पे this adds to the cost in comparison to the use of the aqueous solvents. So one should focus on that. The other reason for using aqueous solvents is water has got a very high specific heat. So that also helps in providing a good temperature to the reaction because water absorbs a lot of heat and it gives you a stable temperature for a longer period of time. So one such reaction is given, that's a Diels-Alder reaction. Formation of cyclohexane from dienophile and diene. So I have given you this particular reaction, but if you want to skip it, then you can skip it. Okay. The major concept here that is lying here and one should be able to recall that. Green chemical products. So, like we have talked, we are talking about everything green. So, the products that are synthesized, even then, they have to be non-toxic in nature. So, chemical products which serve the same function as the conventional products but are environmentally safe and non-toxic to human health should be focused on. जैसे कि organochlorines है, they are toxic and easily form a part of food chain. Last natural resources वाले lectures में we read about organochlorines and organophosphates. So these organochlorines like DDT, aldrin, dialdrin, they are toxic and easily form a part of food chain. But जो organophosphates है and carbamates है, they decompose and are decompose in environments. ठीक है? So they are relatively non-toxic. Although these compounds also chemical कोई भी होगा, चाहे वो pesticides है या organochlorines है या organophosphates है, if the dosage is very high, it is going to affect your human health. But still, in comparison to your organochlorines, they are slightly better. ठीक है? Better इसलिए क्योंकि ये decompose हो जाते हैं environment में in comparison to these. So I hope दोनों का डिफरेंस क्लियर होगा. पेस्टिसाइड्स स्टूडेंट्स कोई भी प्रॉब्लमैटिक है ऑन अ लॉन्गर रन, बट वो पेस्टिसाइड्स जो कि फूड चेन का पार्ट बन जाते हैं जैसे कि ऑर्गेनोक्लोरीन्स एनवायरनमेंट में डिकम्पोज नहीं होते, दे हैव गॉट अ बिगर प्रॉब्लम टू बी एड्रेस्ड. ठीक है. So tributylene is used as anti-fouling agent on boats to reduce the build of algae, plants, diatoms, toxic and lead to bioaccumulation in organisms. So this tributylene, the compound that is given to you here, ये anti-fouling agent है. So anti-fouling agent का use क्या है? So basically tributylene is used for coating the boats. Okay. So और इसका बेसिक पर्पस क्या है कि जो बोट्स हैं उस पर algae या फिर plants का deposition ना हो. But when the boat enters the water, then it basically gets dissolved or in a slight amount it accumulates in your water bodies. तो उससे क्या होगा? There is toxicity and leads to bioaccumulation. So जब हमने bioaccumulation पढ़ा था, then we read कि it's about your accumulation in a particular species. Okay, biomagnification or bioaccumulation we study now. I will tell you this. Okay. Organochlorine and phosphate. Okay. Pesticides है toxic है, but if we compare the two, this one is more toxic reason does not decompose. Human health के लिए दोनों टॉक्सिक है, बट ये एनवायरनमेंट के लिए भी टॉक्सिक है. Similarly, there is an example given of tributylene. Okay, this compound is anti-fouling agent. Okay, so क्यों यूज करते हैं? बोट्स के अराउंड algae, plants, diatoms जो माइक्रोस्कोपिक ऑर्गेनिजम्स हैं इन प्लांट बॉडी या इन एक्वस बॉडी, वो यहाँ पे कोट ना हो. ठीक है. दैट इज द यूज ऑफ योर ट्राइब्यूटाइलिन. नाउ दिस ट्राइब्यूटाइलिन इज कॉजिंग बायोएक्यूमुलेशन. तो प्रीवियस क्लासेस में जब हम बायोएक्यूमुलेशन पढ़ रहे थे, कोई स्टूडेंट बताएगा बायोएक्यूमुलेशन क्या था? Magnification. There was another term, biomagnification. Okay, bioaccumulation means increased concentration of toxic material in any species. Okay, किसी भी पर्टिकुलर स्पीशीज में टॉक्सिक मटेरियल की कॉन्सेंट्रेशन इंक्रीज होना. ठीक है, that is your bioaccumulation. Now, what is biomagnification? Transfer of toxic material in food chain. दोनों का डिफरेंस यही है, कभी एमसीक्यू में कोई क्वेश्चन आए तो वन शुड बी क्लियर. बायोअक्यूमुलेशन इज एक्यूमुलेट होना इन अ पर्टिकुलर स्पीशीज. Biomagnification means transfer of the toxic material in a food chain. So when we talk about bioaccumulation, then it means tributylene का जैसे एग्जाम्पल दिया तो किसी स्पीशीज में accumulation. So I think you have revised this from the now. So what is the alternative? The alternative lies in new class of pesticides, which is your diacetyl hydrazine has been designed, which is non-toxic, and 4,5-dichloro-2N-octyl 4-isothioxylene or DOCI, okay, is used as antifouling agent. So, like if you are asked कि tributylene की जगह कौन सा use कर रहे हैं, so you can give an answer. Diacetyl hydrazine is used because it's non-toxic in nature. ठीक है, तो ये आपका ग्रीन केमिकल प्रोडक्ट्स का एग्जाम्पल है. द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड इज zero waste technology. Okay, so this particular zero waste technology focuses on designing reactions such that no waste or byproducts are released. Like I told yesterday कि अगर byproduct बनता है, पहली पॉसिबिलिटी तो ऐसी हो रिएक्शन की दैट बाय प्रोडक्ट इज नॉट फॉर्म, एंड इफ इट्स गेटिंग फॉर्म देन इट शुड बी नॉन टॉक्सिक इन नेचर. सो जीरो वेस्ट टेक्नोलॉजी focuses on three particular points. Okay, so let's just take these points here. Zero waste technology concept. Byproducts form should be non-toxic. Secondly, initiating reagent for next another process. Okay. So what does this mean? So basically zero waste technology का concept ये है कि आपका बाय प्रोडक्ट फॉर्म ही ना हो. जितना आपका रिएजेंट्स या रिएक्टेंट्स हैं वो हाई एटॉमिक इकोनॉमी के साथ डिजायरेबल प्रोडक्ट में चेंज हो जाए. But if that is not happening, you are not able to find such reactants, then one should focus on zero waste technology, which says the product forms, the byproduct form should be non-toxic and should act as a initiating reagent for next or another process. तो इस टाइप के रिएक्शंस पे वन शुड फोकस ऑन, जिससे कि जो बाय प्रोडक्ट बना है वो दूसरी रिएक्शन के लिए एक रिएजेंट का काम करे. ठीक है, सो इस टाइप की अगर आप रिएक्शंस डिजाइन करते हैं, इवन दैट इज यूजफुल एंड कम्स अंडर योर ग्रीन केमिस्ट्री. सो देयर आर टू एग्जांपल्स हियर. फर्स्ट इज योर ग्लास मिल्क बॉटल्स मेड अप ऑफ सिलिका कैन बी रिसाइकल्ड, या फिर कोई भी ऐसा रिसाइकलेबल मटेरियल also comes in your zero waste technology. The second example is given here. So this use of supercritical carbon dioxide derived from ammonia synthesis is ammonia synthesis units is used as a blowing agent for polystyrene foam instead of CSC. CSC is chlorofluorocarbon. तो एक एग्जाम्पल दिया हुआ है विच इज योर जो अमोनिया सिंथेसिस में कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड निकलती है उसे पॉलीस्टाइरीन फोम में ब्लोइंग अप के लिए यूज करते हैं. सो व्हाट डज दिस मीन, व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय ब्लोइंग अप? स्टाइरीन का स्ट्रक्चर वी हैव सीन. ठीक है, नाउ दिस स्टाइरीन व्हेन इट्स पॉलीमराइज्ड, जो फोम आप मार्केट में अवेलेबल देखते हो that is your polystyrene foam. There are various kinds of foams available, but polystyrene foam is also one of a kind. So what is the foaming structure? Foaming structure is something like this. It has got air gaps in it. achieved by blowing air into a viscous liquid and solidifying it. Blowing air or some gas into viscous liquid which solidifies or cooling. Because foams are not in liquid form, they are in the solid form. जो भी foams आप अपने vicinity में अपने आसपास देखते हो, they are in solid form. That ठीक है, that is a practical observation. But how do you achieve that? You achieve that by blowing air into or any kind of gas into a viscous liquid and cooling it. So ammonia synthesis में जो carbon dioxide release होती है, उसको use करते हैं polystyrene में blow करने के लिए. Here, ठीक है, blowing के लिए. Previous
Recording in
during the
progress.
lecture we got an information कि catalyst में भी जो chemical catalyst है उसमें एक particular temperature और pressure की requirement होती है, ठीक है. It depends upon the catalyst. But if you are using a biocatalyst, then you can work on ambient temperature and pressure, ठीक है, क्योंकि वो एक biological organism से लिया गया है, तो उसका एक स्मॉल टेम्परेचर रेंज है, जैसे कि एम्बिएंट टेम्परेचर 25 डिग्री सेल्सियस टू 35 डिग्री सेल्सियस, ठीक है, जिसमें एंजाइम्स वर्क करते हैं. So that temperature is not a very high temperature. It can be achieved very easily without usage of much energy resources. So this is what it means by increasing the energy efficiency. ठीक है, avoid chemical derivatives. So chemical derivatives के लिए one should focus on not having too many intermediate steps during the reaction. This is what it means. Okay, then products design should be biodegradable. Design of manufacturing of plants to minimize the potential for accidents. So Bhopal gas tragedy or any other chemical accident that you have large scale industrial application, that accident that you have read, you can quote the answer as a case study. Okay, strengthening of analytical techniques. So ये एक point है, strengthening of analytical techniques for prevention of pollution. So इसका मतलब ये है कि even if you are having a green reaction, one should focus on having a good availability of sensors so that you can detect the pollutants easily. अगर आप कोई reaction लगा रहे हैं या reaction आप कर रहे हैं, उसमें the byproducts formed are environmentally toxic in nature, then you should be able to detect them. So engineers का एक task ये भी है to design sensors in order to help the chemist, ठीक है, कि इस टाइप का सेंसर्स डिजाइन करें जिससे कि इंडस्ट्रियल लेवल पे जो सिंथेसिस होती है उसमें कोई बाय प्रोडक्ट्स, टॉक्सिक बाय प्रोडक्ट्स रिलीज होते हैं, सो दे कैन बी डिटेक्टेड. सो दिस विल हेल्प द इन्वायरमेंट, ठीक है. फॉर एग्जांपल यूजेज ऑफ accurate sensors like VOC for organic compounds, ammonia, sulfur, carbon monoxide sensors. Although there are many sensors available, but still the field is quite large to be a lot of research can be done in this particular field. Okay, so that sums up your lecture for today. तो अगर किसी को डाउट है किसी उस slide में, so they can let me know. Otherwise, I'll end the class, and tomorrow we will start with polymers, and I'll give you the assignment after the class. I'll upload it on Google Classroom, and you can submit it after solving. Okay. So किसी को doubt है? All those who are present here. आज की क्लास में पीछे जो लॉकडाउन पीरियड में जो क्लासेस हुई थी उनसे रिलेटेड किसी स्लाइड में किसी को अगर डाउट हो तो यू कैन कम बैक टू मी विद द स्क्रीनशॉट एंड योर क्वेरीज दे विल बी आंसर्ड सो यू कैन डू दैट एनी टाइम ओके सो टुडे आई विल एंड द लेक्चर हियर एंड आई होप यू हैव अ गुड डे tomorrow we are going to start with a new topic that is the polymers